Anyways, this here is, of course, Genesis Noir, and we are going to start off with a good old delete of our save game, and we're going to play from beginning because that's how you do it when you speedrun. I am just going to do a lot of commentary while doing this run because I want to do a lot of practice on the commentary. I want to be able to be free-flowing and make this enjoyable for anyone and everyone to watch. Also, I'm going to be recording a submission video come this weekend, so getting that practice really good. So time begins when we begin game. 3, 2, 1, go. And there we go. We are off to races. Of course, we do controller, we do mouse, we do everything on this game because that is how this game works. This game, some parts work better with controller, some parts work better with mouse, some parts kind of work bad with both. Some parts work really good with both, so we're kind of going to do a little bit of A, a little bit of B, and so the game starts off with quite a bit of opening cutscenes and opening stuff. Of course, the game is a lot of cutscenes. I mean, this game is very much a story-based game. It's all about narrative. It's a very abstract narrative. I mean, it is a lot of things that I honestly don't know what is going on, but one thing I do know that's going on, there is a lot of style. In fact, it's not fair to say style. This game has style. Like, it is beautiful. In a very simplistic visual style, it does so much. The reflections, all of that, just gorgeous. So, right here, this is us. We are No Man. No man is hungry, wants to go to the hopper. In the end, that's actually the whole plot of this game, is we're going to the hopper. So right here, No Man is a watch seller. So we're going to sell some people watches. And hey, we got a buck. Awesome. We are on our way. And we've got another buck coming our way. Check that out. We might as well win the game right here. All we need is one more buck and we are done. How could anything go wrong at this point? Let's sell them this one. It's a nice watch. And we are going to get our third buck, and oh, it's actually a pair of underwear. I'm now swapping over a controller for this part because well, anytime we are moving in one direction, controller goes nice and fast. Trip over a shoe. And up there we're going to see, so a bunch of our stuff is being thrown out. I think it's our stuff, I don't know for sure. That up there though is Miss Mass. Miss Mass is one of the 3 main characters. There are 4 main characters, but there are 8 main characters, and she is one of those 3, 4, 8 main characters. You're like, wow, that's a lot of characters for that's a lot of not a lot of characters. Well, there is Miss Mass, there is No Man, we've seen both of them so far, and then there is the Golden Child. I think it's Golden Child is his name. He is going to be the smooth, sophisticated one, the savvy one. And then there's also going to be Any Man. Any Man is a lot of men and women. So first things first here, we're going to spin this. And this is going to knock the phone onto the floor. At which point, we're going to call on the phone. Luckily, we have a phone number in mind. And there we go. 980-6650. That connects us to destiny, you might say. And now we're going kind of follow through some more stylish. This is kind of like the title card to this game. Very stylish. I mean, this is awesome. This game, honestly, is one of the best looking games you will find. And sadly, nobody speedruns it except for me. So if you notice me looking over this way some, it's me looking at the stats for my OBS, it's me looking at my timer, it's me looking at my chat, but also I have some solutions up on the screen because there are a few tricky puzzles. And those... We wanted to open that door in a hurry. And Miss Mass just got shot. I hope you like the colors black, white, and gold, because that is going to be our colors of choice for most of this game. However, coming up at the end, prepare for a lot of Technicolor type of views. So this here is the golden boy. Golden child, golden god. And he is starting the Big Bang. We're all deities in some weird, like, higher plane of existence type of way. And so, we, as No Man, are here to prevent the Big Bang. Because the Big Bang just killed Miss Mass. And we kind of have a thing for Miss Mass. And in order to prevent the Big Bang, we're going to create a black hole. Which is harder than it sounds, actually. It sounds pretty hard. It is pretty hard. So right here, we're going to drink from our flask. And a lot of times in this game, when you drink, it creates bubbles and stuff in the air. Anytime you see those, our challenge is pop those as quick as possible so we could get on with things. This is actually our hub world. So we want to look at this bullet. And this will get burned into our hand. And it's going to serve as our gateway back to this gateway of worlds. You'll see what I mean soon enough as we get sucked into the Big Bang. Like I said, we're going to kind of alternate between controller and mouse. And this is a good example right here. We're going to do controller for movement and mouse for interactions. And if you want to know what this story is all about, I don't know whether I am not under the right mental state to fully understand it, or if it's going over my head, or if maybe it's too artistic for me. But I have no idea what this story is about. But there is a lot of it. And there's some cool parts to kind of pick out through it. So we want to get up onto that hill where that tree is. But we're going to have to work our way there. There's a bunch of these individual levels we are going to go through. Each one has its own kind of cool mechanics and whatnots. And so, first one we're going to do is right here. And this guy is going to turn into some seeds. And if you throw some white seeds down, they will dissolve away white things. So we'll throw one to open up this gate, and you can't walk through when they're first spawning. And then this guy right here is going to have black seeds. Black seeds eat up black things. And you can't walk through until they're done. And then each time you plant a seed like this, you're going to have a little bit of a puzzle to do. Oh, and I have had too much caffeine today. My hand is a jitters. Definitely could do that a little quicker, but not too bad overall. Every time you plant one of these big seeds and you go through a different event, it's going to open up a new area to go to in this world, this seeding world. And so, look at that, we have a new path. So we will walk this way. I don't know why it didn't want to pick up a seed for a short bit there. And this one makes rain clouds. So there we go. This is essentially the start of Earth after the Big Bang. That's what we're seeing right here. There is a story, it's just a very unusual one. Whoa, come on, grab the seed. Plant another seed. And we don't need to do everything in each area. That one can go a little quicker, but it's kind of tricky getting it exactly how you want it. Each one of these is a different type of puzzle. So this one here, we need to get time to flow. Time flowing is a lot easier with the mouse than with a controller. Always do a mouse for this part. And we will do this puzzle a few times throughout this game. The rotating the world to make the sky go from night to day to night to day to night to day, and so on. And we don't need to open that down there, because we can just throw the seed from here. Sometimes it's quicker to not go where you need to go. What I do is get 3 birds in the hand. And you'll notice we teleported down to where this was, so we didn't have to tear away that white area. And what seed I picked has no real bearing here, so I'm just picking whatever seed feels right to me. That's it. Actually, whatever one's easiest to pull up. So here we need to get these roots going all the way that underground river so they could get plenty of water. And so we've got to move some stuff out of our way. First one goes away real slow. It has to show an animation. And there we go. We are down to the river, and that plant shall receive the water it so desperately needs for growth. And we continue to populate the earth after the Big Bang with all the good stuff it needs, including animals. That seed was the animal seed. You're like, animals don't come from seeds. Yes, they do. You know that now. Alright, there we go. Up here. And this guy has the yellow seeds. The yellow seeds, can you guess it? No. Grab those. Thank you. Sometimes your clicking doesn't want to go quite how it should. So we'll throw this one down there so we don't need to walk all the way to it. And that's all that one is. Real simple, but now we have yellow seeds, so we can get rid of yellow things. Wait for it to fully bloom. Walk on through. And what? There we go. I don't know why I didn't get rid of it all on the first one. That was weird a bit, but all is fine. And so we need to drop an apple on this dude's head. Bonk. He is not all that happy with us. This guy right here is the golden child, or the golden god, the golden man, golden something. I forget exactly what his name is, but he's going to give us kind of an idea of how to make a big bang, or how to, not make a big bang, but how to make a black hole that'll get rid of a big bang. And there he goes. He threw that watch into a black hole, and we're like, hey, black holes would be good. I'll grab this little swirl. I want that swirl right there. Poke it a few times. Put it in our pocket. Check the time. Pull out our hand. We'll see the swirl on our palm from earlier from that bullet casing. And there we go. Maybe we don't check the time on this one. We'll check the time on future ones, though. And with that, you have seen the main loop of this game. So what is the main loop? Go into a world, get something, tap the swirl on our hand, come back out, go back into a different world, get more things. So here we're going to come up with our grand scheme. Get ready, we're going to write it down. Alright, so if we do all this, it's kind of like that It's Always Sunny thing of tying together all the pictures and whatnot on the bulletin board. And we're going to be like, hey, that's it. I could do a black hole. I could stop the Big Bang. We need those swirls, but we need those swirls to turn gold. And we need to figure out how to do that. How do we turn swirls gold? And then we could throw the swirls into a black hole. It'll expand. It'll get rid of the Big Bang. And then we end up with Miss Mass. Hey, how about that? So let's go ahead and dive back in here. Some of these are levels, some of these are not. We want to go to the levels. The ones that aren't are just pictures. And it's just a waste of time to do the pictures, so we obviously do not want those pictures. And there's a lot of dialogue here, a lot of story. On it, it's going to any dialogue. Dots that we're picking up before? No, they don't. So we're just going to start it. And continue. On. And here we go. Both sides. Alright, and then one more time. One more of these right over to him. And there we go. And we're not going to look at those flowers he threw at us, because that is a waste of time. Instead, we are going to just continue on by first watching him, but then applaud. That's a pretty good performance he's doing. Keep cheering him on. And of course, after we cheer him on once, you know what we do. We cheer him on again. And again. And do you know what we do after we cheer him on again and again? Yeah, I think you do. We're going to cheer him on some more even. There we go. Cheer him on because he is doing a great job. That is some beautiful music he is playing for us right there. And with that, we're going to run. Let's just go over this way, to the right. We can look at that. We're not going to do that. Like I said, you look at things, it just wastes your time. Instead, we're just going to enjoy this beautiful beach and dive on into the water. And this area is actually one of the largest areas in this game, Reflection. So first, we're going to solve some interesting little puzzles. And then we're going to solve some other puzzles after doing a little collect all of the thingamajigs. So right here, we need to solve some puzzles. I'm not sure if they ever really tell you what's up with these, like why you solve them how you do and what you're solving and all of that. Alright. Have a couple of these left. Thank you. I don't know why it wasn't letting me select that one. Thank you. That was a little frustrating. It wasn't letting me select it. That's part of the challenge of this game, is certain things are very intentional. That one's actually the hardest one, at least for me, the hardest one to solve. This one, very simple. Come on. Thank you. See, sometimes it doesn't like to accept your clicks, but continue on through as quick as you can. We just select as many as we can. Select the button. The something that the lavalier back in. I wish it would stop. I even tried swapping out the lavalier pack. Normally I'm using a different pack, and this one is also going Robot Town, it appears. Well, we continue on through, and we're just going to push on through, and then I'm just going to swap over to a different lavalier pack set coming up. Alright, here we need to make life. We are making the basics of life. This is the primordial ooze. And so, to make life, cylinder, ring, and ball is what we need. And they're like, what does that mean? Well, you'll see soon enough. I really wish my mics, though, would behave. And so these two fall in love and give us the basic building blocks to make a cylinder, ring, and ball. We wait for this kid over here, and they're going to get together, fall in love. And then up next, cylinder star ball is what we're looking for, because you'll notice stars are now involved. And we just gotta click there so it sees it, and it's like, ooh, look at that cutie. And then next one is cylinder glow stick star. But we gotta wait for them to get together. I apologize for yawning. The yawning and my microphone dying are both. Oh no. Mike dying and me yawning are both symptoms of this week just being the absolute worst. This week has been miserable. Hopefully it's not that way for you. And now we can finally collect the saxophone, as Homer Simpson would call it. And so we'll put it in our pocket, we'll pull out our pocket watch, check the time, and then we'll look at the swirl in our hand. Like I said, sorry about the yawning and whatnot. And there we go, we are now done with this. So possible, I might swap over to this microphone for doing my... Wow, okay. Or not. I was going to swap over that other microphone, and it did not want to come down correctly. It is just everything going horrible. Oh, that is not one we want. That is one we want. There I am looking for clues at the scene of the crime. Alright. Continue to the right for a bit. And we're going to have to deal with all of this smoke. Nope, we are not interacting with that. And some of these get very artistic. This is one of them. And we'll go into the club so we could see Miss Mass perform. Gotta hit that light, get the performance going. Once again, as I mentioned before, you start drinking and these bubbles appear. And just gotta pop them all as quick as we can. And that is it. And we just gotta get in here. There we go. And now we're going to find the golden boy smoking away, and we gotta put out his cigar. And he's not really a fan of that, so he tells us to butt out, literally. And with that, we will collect the cigar after we get out of the cigar. And that will be our collectible for this area. So you might be noticing, hey, why do you have no splits on this speed run? On my timer, you'll notice no splits, just one titled Exodus at the very end of the run, and that's it. That's because you could play some of these stages in whatever order you want, and it makes it a little tricky for managing your splits. Once again, I apologize for the yawning. It's been that kind of life. Or at least that kind of week. Believe thaw is where we're at now? Oh. Ooh. This one is another get the radio frequencies in line. And then we need this one, which is right here. And there we go. Oh, I got a scam likely phone call. Those are my favorites. And this one is improvisation. So we will just continue on through here, running as fast as we can. Don't bother clicking on things, although actually here you can click on some without any real issues, depending on what ones. That one, this one, this one, but don't do this one. This one zooms in, and you don't want that. It's all about which ones are quick and which ones are slow. The quick ones take no time. The slow ones, they take time. And any time is time. So we're going to get on this train. We're going to ride the train to the right. We're going to throw the lever so we select what track we're on. What do they call that? You know, the big train track selector. This thing. And then we're going to ride the train some more. We are controlling the train's movement, by the way. And we are trying to follow this golden beat. And we have no neck. Typically, when you hear somebody has no neck, you think of them being kind of like this, but instead we just literally have no neck. Like our head is just floating out there. And that there is the source of this cool golden rhythm we have been hearing. The musician. Or like, as I call him, the bassist. And we're going to play a little game of Simon. Three, 1, 2, 4. Come on. Three, 1, 2, 4. 3, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3. Alright, we got our cool beat going, and now he'll imitate us. Earlier I mentioned there are 3, 4, and 8 characters in this game. This one here, the musician, is one of the 8 and one part of the 4th. Hey, doggos. Just had some doggos join me. So here, the musician is going to play back what we play. So all that matters is just keep hitting buttons quickly. There we go. You just gotta play for a little bit and then you click. A lot of this is about knowing when you could click and when you just gotta sit there. And just keep going nice and fast here until you see a train. And then go ahead and control that train out of here, and that's it. Get a little bit of a cutscene coming through. Some sad news. The base is riddled with bullet holes, which is never a good sign. And we're going to put that base in our pocket somehow. I mean, don't ask questions. It's how it works. There we go. Check our time. Pull out our hand. Hit the swirl. And back to working on that Big Bang conundrum. I'm just taking a look, see if there's any puppers in my room with me. No doggos right now. Here we go into another little world adventure. I believe we will meet another one of the, is it 8 people or 1/4 of the 4th person? I do need to learn better which of these levels are in which of these, dots. Once again, a time swirl, so do this one the easiest. We want to use the mouse. You can also use your controller, but controller is so much slower than doing the mouse. You pretty much hold the button and spin the mouse, or you hold the button and spin the analog stick. The spinning the analog stick, on top of not feeling good, is slow. So you don't want to do that. Instead, you want to use the mouse. The mouse is so much quicker. And this level is Hunt. And in Hunt, we are following the tracks. And so our challenge here is we just need to keep uncovering the tracks. And there's a mousey. Oh, yeah, that little mouse. It's cute. So we follow the tracks to the river. And we want to go across that river. Then we'll veer left here. Into this cave. This area is actually quite easy to get lost in, not the cave. The cave is very straightforward. I never tried going right. But other than that, very straightforward. But outside of the cave, it's a big area. It's deceptively big and deceptively small. So this here is another one of the 8 main characters in this game, or is that 4 main characters? You'll see what I mean later on when you meet who any man is. Because remember, we are no man. And now we want to get out of here. And we're going to follow some tracks when we get outside. We want to track down that huntress. But the problem is, there's a lot of tracks once we get outside. And you could kind of see which ones are correct ones, or if you've been playing this quite a bit like me, you just know which ones are the right ones, and you just follow them along like this. And there she is. And that is all it takes to get over here. I can see some hoof prints. Hoof? Foot? Whatever it is. However that works. And here comes the huntress. course, when I do a submission video for this game, I'm probably going to have to make sure I point out things like, if you are offended by animal violence, there is some. It's not detailed, but there is. And if you have issues, and we could turn invisible in front of any man and the any man constituents. Once again, another time skip. There's also flashing light warnings for this game as well. And that's that, and now we're done with this area. Let's go ahead and click on our hand, and away we go. And this should be Thaw. I hope this is Thaw. Because if it's Thaw, then I'm on the right track. Wink. Stupid constellation. Punch these down and start running to the right. Keep running, 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 running. And there's that huntress again. And then we need to find some stuff hidden in the ground here. We had hunt before, now we have gather. And this is all about how society has evolved from that hunter society to an agrarian society. We'll grab that wool. We've learned to domesticate sheep. We have learned to plant seeds. We have learned to create tapestries. There it goes. And then we will continue on our way. Continue on our way. Continue on our way. You don't want to click too quick here. If you click too quick, it doesn't register and it can actually take a little longer. Let's go ahead and knock that over. And then we go out onto the terrace where we see a volcano is getting ready to explode. And bad news. And all we need to do is get this staff, put it in our pocket, check the time, and click that swirl. And there we go, another area down. There's another one. I think this is Thaw. I hope this is Thaw. And so with this one, we're going to start off learning about seasons. First season we learn about is spring, and we get wet because spring brings the rains. Next up, what comes out of spring? Summer. And summer brings the heat. And then is going to come the fall. Hey, little pupper. I got a little pupper here. Don't bite me, Holo. And then after fall comes the winter. The winter of our discount tents. We're not going to zoom in for that one, but instead we're going to freeze over and then we will be thawed out, and this area is going to introduce us to another character, the Ronin. The Ronin right now just has one simple thing he wants, and that's it. Just one thing. A cup of tea. It's cold, it's snowy. The Ronin wants a cup of tea. And to make a cup of tea, you need 4 things. 4 simple ingredients. A cup, And we're going to need some wood to build a fire, because you can't have tea if you don't have flames to, boil some water. We're going to need water, because you can't have tea without water. And then we're going to need tea leaves, because you can't have tea without tea. So we'll cross this bridge, we'll find the wood right here. And this is one of the times where we could just play without the mouse. Kind of kick back and relax a little bit in my chair. The water is right over here. They cut a hole in the river, in the frozen lake, whatever you want to call that. Lake, river, very similar things. And then we'll find some tea in an overturned cart. And we happen to know which box has the tea leaves. It's the middle right. And with that, let's get out of here. Now we need to get back to the Ronin. Make that Ronin a nice cup of tea. The Ronin is another one of the 8 main characters of this game, or another 1/4 of any man, who is the 4th character. Also, here is where we're going to be introduced to some be patient and wait type of mechanics. What does that mean? Well, you'll see. Have you ever tried watching a kettle boil? It takes forever, and we're going to have to watch a kettle boil. And we are invisible right now. We have a good ability to turn invisible when we need to. So they put the water on to boil. We gotta wait for it. There's a bunch of things here. We're just gonna wait patiently right now. If this was like a speedrun event and there was hosts, I'd be like, and now is a good time for an announcement. Why, yes, we have the following announcement, blah, 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 blah. There we go. Once it turns yellow, it is finally ready to go. And now some real cool, like, comic book panel type stuff is going to be going on. Well, in a second. First, we need to make a proper cup of tea. And we break the teacup. And now kind of comic-y type of stuff. And then we come out looking really cool. Skull Mask Man. And so the Ronin had a bunch of broken items. We're going to fix them. I'm not sure what's going on really here. They melt some gold coins in the tea water to make a resin that we will use to glue things together. And we have some very simple puzzles to solve here. Very simple. And once again, it's going to be saying where it's all about how well our button inputs are taken. And we have a couple more, including the last one will be our teacup. Here is that teacup. There we go. And then we're going to recognize a symbol in here. Look at that. What is it? It's a swirl. Those little swirls, those clock springs, are going to be a major part of everything if you haven't been able to tell yet. And we'll pocket that, check out our pocket watch, click on our hand, and we're done. Back to the Big Bang. And back to stopping the Big Bang. Alright, and we're off to our next area. We just keep them going nice and fast. At least as fast as we can. And once again, we will be back to hand on the mouse, hand on the controller, and hands ready to do things. First, though, stupid winking constellation. And down we go. We're about to crash down to Earth. We are the meteor. There we go. Did not want to activate at first. And so here we get to see meteor coming to crash into the Earth. Or is it an asteroid going to crash into the Earth? I don't know. It could be both. It could be neither. Who knows what it is? Actually, it's a meteor or an asteroid. Meteorite or asteroid. Meteorite once it's in the atmosphere. And we just continue on through our way. Hey, the hopper. I want to go to the hopper. We'll end up there soon enough. Well, to wrap up the game. Spoilers, the game ends at the diner, at the hopper. Hey, there is the hopper right down there. You want to click on that drink as soon as you can. And once again, you remember how this goes. Three rounds of those, you clear them out. And now the meteor has hit. And let's advance time some. What do you say? Once again, we do this with the mouse, not the controller. And it's about to go very dark on us in just a second. But first, little lunar rover buddy. This, coming up, is one of the slowest parts when you don't know what you are doing speedrun-wise. That matchbook is going to be very important because we're going to wish we had fewer matches in there. Because we are going to need to burn through every one of those matches in a later chapter. So, to prepare for that, we can't do anything. So we'll just run down this particle accelerator and find the fourth of the eighth character, or 1/4 of the fourth character, the scientist, or as I call her, future scientist. Why is she future scientist? Because she's a scientist in the future. And I remain invisible. She's like, hey, look what I found. And I'm like, yo, I'm invisible. I don't get the deal with that. Like, are you a muse to all of them? Or what? I don't know what No Man really is. And so, we are going to invent some inventions. You might see me go like this, because I'm going to be looking at a cheat sheet. Because these inventions are somewhat complicated. And we're going to be using controller and mouse for this. I know, I keep saying that, but whenever I say it, I mean like emphasis on, okay, this is where controller or mouse really matters. So we are going to have 5 of these inventions to do. Each one adds one more complication. That one is easy because you always want those two sliders to be even in the middle. But the other parts can be more complicated. And there are a total of 5 of these we're doing. So see that in the top, the blinky dot? We want 5 dots that are all lit up. Good to go. And now I'm going to start drawing on the chalkboard. Scientists will get a little annoyed with it. And then this one we want. And with time, maybe I'll memorize these and go a little quicker, but for right now, it's hard to memorize these because they are quite complex. They require a fair amount of precision. She needs a pick-me-up, so don't do this in an actual lab. Don't eat or drink in a chemistry or biology lab or radiology. Pretty much any lab with hazmat. Don't do this. I work in a lab. I used to be a scientist back in another life. I'm actually a published scientist for whatever that matters. See, we need this one there. There we go. Hey, that worked a little better than the last time I played this. Because the last time it just did not want to accept that solution, even though it is the only solution. All right. On to number 4. We have a 4th dot. Music. Oh, here we go with the music. This is for inspiration. And with that inspiration, lost time, but all will be okay. I'm worried about my microphone once again being garbage. Speaking of garbage, let's show why fire can be a bad thing. Oh, you silly scientists who are in love. Alright, so this one... Let's see, we want... There we go. That went a little slower than ideal as well, but oh well. Got through it, all was good, all was fine. Oh, and invisible time. And then we read the book. And just like with the tea house, just gotta put this back together. And then we gotta turn it gold. And then we just gotta give it a little pokey poke. And this is how we're going to get these symbols gold, which you might remember from the Big Bang room. We need to turn these gold. And a whole lot of gold going on there, as the Big Bang is going to be no more because we've got a black hole. We're going to pick up this book. Put it away. Check the time. Check our symbol. Go back to the Big Bang room. Hopefully save a Miss Mass from being killed by the Big Bang. Here we go. Rebuild these a little golden. MacGuffin acquired. And into this next area we go. On bright side, you never need to worry about going the same area that you already cleared, because anytime you clear an area, it turns into a little void. Here we need to control the time. So 4:25 is what we need to look at next. And then 7:05. And then 11:15. And we are all leaving this world far behind. Blast off. Off we go. Well, not we, we're down below. And this one, if you know what Voyager is in terms of space, we need to deal with Voyager. And the gold record. And everything's getting sucked into a black hole. And wait a minute, what in the blue was that blue thing? We are about to enter a whole new part of this game now that we have the gold going on with those gold swirls. And we're creating the black hole. Everything's going to get a bit different and unexpected. All right, this is it. I think this should clear up the Big Bang. I think we're pretty much done. No, we're not. We've got actually several things to do still. I mean, spoilers, I did mention matchbook, and we need to do something about that matchbook. And a lot of things are going real weird in the universe right now. And let's get rid of that thing. Goodbye. There are several objects that we could throw these little black hole makers into. we just want to go straight to Earth at this point. And things are about to take another twist with this game.
Stop.
Dialogue. And this would be the 4th or 8th character. Any man. And any man is not a huge fan of pants, just so you know. First, any man splits up into some people we might be rather familiar with.
Please stop, ancestral spirit.
Stop now, eternal demon.
Stop time. Beat, brother.
Stop worrying, time traveler.
And here is, of course, where the flashing light warnings would come into effect. Because... oh, no, I'm fine, I don't need a joint.
You have a choice.
Oh. Keep forgetting. Click on that thing. And now we are going to be in a black hole. And this is where we're going to wish we had fewer matches. Black holes are cold, lonely places. They're not, however, absolutely cold. And once again, remember I said certain parts you need to know when to just be patient and not do anything. Well, once again, we just gotta be patient because we're waiting for our matches to run empty. So we need 3 matches, and then we're going to realize, hey, we're kind of trapped here. And if you walk around, you won't find anything. Ideally, you light the match before the matchbook cover opens. You'll notice we're pulling the match out while the cover is just starting to open. That is ideal. It means you are saving time. So when that cover opens, as soon as you interact with it, it's no longer tangible. And that's what I'm doing to rush through it like that. And now we're just gonna kind of kill time until we're out of matches. And then we're going to burn things. And here we're just kind of rushing through it. See, it didn't even open the cover even halfway there. And we're seeing remnants of our interactions with Anyman's different incarnations. There's a musician, we had the hunter, we had the Ronin. Here we'll have the scientist. She was all about them books. And now we'll have our final match. And that impending doom sound. So you know what? Let's just burn it all. Let's burn it all. Ready? And there we go. Let it burn. Break down the door. With that, we're about to have, I don't know, kind of a reevaluation of our lives, both with and without the Big Bang, with and without the Black Hole of Doom. We also are going to kind of have our arm burn away. Which is be kind of sad for me. I'm left-handed. That would be horrible. Would be no man right there. It's the hand I use for controlling the controller part of this. And from here on out, things are going to be a lot more colorful. You're like, no, they're not. It's black, white, and gold again. Give it a second. Just give it a second. We're going to have some color. Look at this. An inaccurate statue. An accurate statue. And it's time for Any Man.
You're mad.
Yeah, I am.
Here now. We see you're missing so much. More than an arm.
I like how this game introduces color, though. I hope you're ready for the big dance number, because this is part of the game where we get to the dance number. This is a little hard to control, by the way. And you do need to hit all of these. I was hoping at first that you could actually avoid some. But you do need to hit all of these. And controlling this is really rough at first when you get control back after. And now you get a little puzzle for each of the 4 parts of Any Man. And a dance number with a song. I kind of like this part. It's nice and chill. And now we got a Ronin puzzle to solve. If you can't guess, it's gluing things back together. Just wait for it. We'll be there in just a second. Oh, come on. Like I said, this game is very intentional with its movement of the mouse or controller, and if you are not super intentional, things happen. And now we're off to see the musician, or as I prefer to call him, the bassist. Hey, hello. Little pupper is in the studio with me. She is a happy little pupper dog. See, it's like, this guy might be a musician, but played such a killer bass. I think he's more of the bassist. Two, 4, 3, and then 2, 4, 3, 1. Let's go. And then that's it. And you want to be a little slow there, because if you go too quick and you hit the wrong note, you lose quite a bit of time on the bassist kind of going like, dude, bro, what, why? Why did you do that wrong? So, want to be very intentional. And then coming up next is the Scientist, which is a very easy machine. Or as I say, the Future Scientist. And we are coming up on the ending of the game, but there is a little bit of time still in this game. It's not like we're at the end, but we're approaching the ending. Okay, and this is, bottom is far right. And with that, we're going to have a big old dance number going on. I mean, we already have a big old dance number, but it's going to continue being very dancey. If you didn't complete all of those symbols in space before you get here, you would have to then complete them. And if you click, as long as you keep it clicked in, it's all 4 of any man. If you let go, it's just any man. And of course, the 4 don't dance. But if you let go, any man actually dances. So, why would you click in? I mean, look at that. They're just still. And, I mean, right here, you just gotta ride it out. So if you're playing this casually, it's kind of fun to watch. If you're speedrunning, it's like, oh, come on. Hey, come on. Come on. But it's all good, because, I mean, it's an auto-scroller equivalent. Nothing you could do about it. Just ride it out. And enjoy the good music, enjoy the vibes, enjoy the colors. I mean, this game is kind of really beautiful and really has good style. And then we have to see 12 faces about something. But first, we're going to sit on a bench. Oh, first we gotta go through this. Oh, before the bench, though, we gotta go all the way in. Through our history and shared events. And then we're going to go all the way back out. Or not? No. I think that is the only line you get to hear no man say. I don't know why it wasn't rotating at first. And then we zoom out. We click on another head. We zoom in. And then we zoom out. You know what? Despite some issues, I hate doing this right now, but alright, there we go. Had to close that door in a hurry because I was about to have dogs potentially barking a lot. And now we get to do the same thing with the Ronin that we just did with the Hunter. 3 different heads. Each one shows us a little scene. And in we go. And there we go, all the way in. We see something. Zip out. All the way in again. I do love all the... After so much black and white and a little bit of gold, having these bright, vivid colors really is really cool. Like I was saying, this game, simple visuals, but really has style. I wish it made more sense to me, but whatever. I could live with that. We are halfway through with these. Playing the hits. And once again, we have the 3 heads. So we zoom in on the first one, zoom back out, go the second one, and you could probably hear in the background some dogs are barking. Hopefully they're not being picked up too much by my microphone. Zoom on in here through the rifling of the barrel of that gun. Gun that shoots out music notes. That's an awesome gun. Music gun. And then the final one, and then all we have left are the 3 heads of the future scientist. Sometimes music just knocks you out. And here comes the last one. To the heads of the scientist. Head number 1. And you could go through these heads in any order. You could start with the scientist and do the right head of the scientist. It doesn't matter what order you do. They're all the same. I think it's fair to mention that because you might be watching this going, so if you go the wrong order, do you lose time? No. It is, you just have to get through these. Kind of like the levels on the Big Bang. You just have to get through all the levels. Some levels open up after other ones, and some are open simultaneously. So, for example, I did the musician before I did Thaw, and Thaw should have been before the musician if you went in order. But part of the challenge there is we're not going in order because if you go in order, you might accidentally click on some of the pictures, and those pictures are just a waste of time. And now we're going to zoom out from all of this. All that stuff we zoomed into earlier, we zoom out of. We'll zoom back in again. So much revolving around that one watch. It is a pretty nice looking watch. I mean, I'm not a fan of that color particularly, because that's not gold, that's kind of a yellow. It's stylistic gold. A little bit of visual flair as we wrap up this chapter. And there is one more chapter left after this that we are almost on that last chapter. Last chapter is Exodus, and we are way ahead of PB pace.
You don't have to save anyone.
And now we're going to enter that final chapter. I want to say we only have maybe about 7 or 8 minutes left, I think. And we're going to get a little bit, everyone gets their say in this. So So here's the ones from the Hunter, including any man is going to have their own color. So the Ronin's blue, Hunter is green, Musician is purple, Future Scientist is pink. But then any man gets the... I love and hate this color palette. It looks reversed, and it is something. So we are going to control a character other than No Man for a short bit. So important thing to know here is there are a few things you could do to make this ending a little bit longer. You have two choices in endings. I believe taking the right choice is the quicker one. And you can add a tiny bit extra by interacting with the gun. And so, let's not interact with the gun. So here we get to play as any man for a brief instant. Don't interact with that gun. Otherwise, when you come to No Man, you will hand the gun over, and that adds a couple frames, and there's like an extra line or two of dialogue, if I remember right. And we don't want that. So instead, we're going to have a choice of two endings. A left ending and a right ending. It looks like left ending is accepting Miss Mass, and the right ending is rejecting Miss Mass. And we are going to take the right one. I don't know the significance plot-wise of either of them, but that don't matter, because we're almost done with this game. And remember,
You don't have to save anyone.
yep. So here we get the ending choice. And the ending does not, or time does not end quite when we see the first credits. Because this game is a lot like a modern movie. We're going to have a mid-credit stinger. So we gotta select our choice 3 times. Or 4 times. And there we go. And you'd think, well, that's it. That's time, right? No, it's not. It's really close to time. But we're going to have a final little bit of text that'll pop up. And time will be when the text fully vanishes into a black frame. That looks a lot like that black frame. But first we're going to have a little bit of title card type of stuff and credity type of stuff. And so, after this is done, I'll need to upload this video because this is going to be a new PB/current world record. I'm the only one running this game, so of course it's world record if I get a PB. I'd love for more people run this. Maybe see if there's skips or something like that, but holy poop, I really made this go quicker. I mean, this is going to come out to like a 13-ish minute. And so we just gotta go through the last bits, and then I need to check the quality of my microphone during this because I could only go off of my slobs display for audio. I don't know whether it was as bad as it looked or not. But I do have 2 points in video where I think I could tell how good or bad it was. By the way, if you accepted Miss Mass, at the very end here, you will be in the diner with any man. If you reject Miss Mass, you don't get any man. So here is the final text coming up. And once the screen goes black, that is time. So let's see, we are almost done. Time is coming up in very little time. And that's it. That would be time. And that was a PB by like, whew, what was that, like 13 minutes, 14 minutes? That was really good. Oh, 13:02. Whew. And of course, we're going to go ahead and play out the credits because respect game creators, respect the work that goes into a game. Developers and, you know, the creative teams put a lot of effort into games. So, go ahead and appreciate their work. You can... Normally, I like for a game's time to end on a speedrun when you can't do any more inputs to affect the game. You can speed up the credit scroll here. Well, not here, but after it finishes the individual credits. So, like, it's about to go right here. You could speed it up and slow it down. But I don't think that should count on the time for speedrunning, so that's why, for the rules, I made it time ended when the final text popped out. And whether you take good ending or other ending, I don't know which one's good or bad. Whichever ending you take, it will both end with the text that we had. And then just a little different leading up to it and right after it. And then with that, there we go. Genesis Noir, any percent. New PB, world record as of now, improved by 13:02, which, wow, that is really good. I need to see how my microphone was doing throughout this whole thing. Hopefully it did good, but I have a feeling it did not. And then if it did not, I'm going to have to do some work to figure out what I can do about my audio, because I want to do some speedrun submissions coming up for events and can't really do that if my audio is garbage. I mean, worst case scenario, I do have this microphone here, but it is not wanting to rotate correctly, so don't know what is up with it. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll try and figure... There we go. But we'll try and figure this out, because there is this other audio right here. So, I don't know which one would be better or not. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time with this.